Hello and welcome. Today I show you my audio visualization project, my VU project, which to date is my biggest project. I did it a few years back, and I also did an earlier video about it, about the history of it and the making of it, which if you haven't seen yet, you gotta pause this and see it over here. And as for the project itself, here it is. Right, here is my audio visualization project, and you will notice there's quite a lot going on here. I've not intended it to be efficient or anything like this. It's supposed to be artistic. It's supposed to give the retro feel, which I've always had a love for. So it's not efficient whatsoever. There's like regulators and voltages going up and down. And back then I didn't have as much knowledge of electronics as I do now. So yeah, I think I haven't done things as efficiently as I should. Okay. On the left side of this project, you will notice that I have the input, the output, and the headphone out. Obviously that's not amplified, that's actually a straight through. So this goes to external speakers, but it's not amplified. It's just straight from that. This input drives the entire thing, of course. Headphones is this amplifier here. It has, yes, 25 volts and at least 3 amps it needs. I told you this is not efficient whatsoever. You will notice a few things here which are a bit off. One of them being these transformers here. Now, these transformers, there's a reason why these are. They're basically impedance matching audio transformers. But the thing is, back when I was doing this, I had an accident, which we'll know from the first video of this project, which I've posted. I had an accident on this. Some voltage went through the audio line, and it basically blew up my mini disc recorder, and it just doesn't work anymore. So I think I went a bit crazy, and with my knowledge way back then, I kind of like went crazy and got these just to block DC. Now obviously today I have more knowledge than I did, and I know that all I need to do is put capacitors there to DC to block the freaking DC and let the AC through. The audio through. So obviously that's a bit overkill. Back then I didn't have any knowledge of building amplifiers, so all I did was get an IC over here, and I hate this IC. It's horrible. How many capacitors I had to put on here, and they're all kind of glue-gunned together. Because it's sort of, and you couldn't fit them on one board, so I had to have them all hovering. Around. That was just completely useless for this circuit. So what I ended up doing is doing a headphone out. That powers the headphone out. Right. Skipping this for now. We'll go. This green wire leads to here. Well, it leads actually further on, but this circuit here, this little piece, which has my favorite component on it. It's a capacitor, but I call it a aceituna, which means both in Arabic and in Spanish, it means the olive. And, I just nicknamed it because it just reminds me of an olive. So yeah, it's my beloved little zaytuna. Anyway, this circuit amplifies the audio to power the analog VU scale here. And continuing here, this thing is the control board and the voltages, and it controls the different voltages for each part of the circuit, each low powered part of the circuit, that is. Right, shifting on here, on this side, this is the LED VU scale, which I've used the 1 centimeter LEDs, the giant ones. And you will notice at the side here, on the other side of it, on the right side of it, you'll notice a USB port. Basically, that just charges any USB device or powers external speakers. However, it gets extremely hot. So this little fan, I put this there because the regulator gets hot. This is a step up, voltage step up for another IC op amp chip over there. Where is it? It's there. You can see it over there. It steps up 12 volts to 30 volts. That is to power the amplification. Sorry, that is to power the op amps, which amplify the audio for these two things. Now you will notice, you will know what these two things are in a minute. These two things require 200 volts, 300 volts, sorry, 200 to 300 volts, I should say. Now that's what this circuit over here is. This is a boost converter. It takes 12 volts and ramps it all the way up to 200 volts, to 200 to 300 volts. Maximum I got out of it was 290. Of course, not much current, but you know, the voltage is there, and that's exactly what these need, these two things. Now, what are these two things, you're probably asking? Well, right now they're nothing until I get these out. That's one. And that's the other. Yes, that's right. These are tubes or valves or whatever you call them in your region. I have managed to get this. This is, as you can see, it's a huge project. And finally, we have this control panel here, which this is the power on for the entire circuit. This one controls the VU, it switches on the VU, LED VU meter. This one switches on the entire valve circuit, the tube circuit. This one is the lights for this. There's internal lights in there. This one is, I forget. It's been so long since I used it. No, this is the brightness of this light. This is the volume, well, the input volume, what's coming in. And I didn't mention the switch. This is bar mode or dot mode for this VU skill here. And yeah, now it's time to kind of switch it on and test it and stuff. All that is powered by a 12 volt, what am I on about? A 25 volt power supply, which I have here, and it gives it adequate enough, you know. I managed to just pick one of these up from somewhere. I don't know what it's for. Kind of scares me a little bit because it's there's a lot of voltages going every. Fucking made me jump. It's because everything is switched on. I was switched off. I jumped like freaking. Anyway, my God, my own creation made me jump. Right, so we have the audio coming in from the big Technics amplifier into the input here, and the output, which is this, going to my external speakers here. So we have here at there. Switch this thing on. let's put it onto dot mode. That's on dot mode now. Right, I hope this can be caught. The camera does not catch these well. I've noticed that. Because it either overcompensates and they look washed out or something like this. These are Magic Eye tubes. So this is basically completely analog visualization. And these used to be used for the old radio tuning, and also you get them in I think they were used in the military, I'm not sure, but they were definitely used in the old valve radios for the tuning. And here's me using them as VU scales. This part here, this light here, this lamp, is basically one of those 240 volt neon lamps. You know, the small things you see on your kettle or something like this on your toaster. And that's being run on this, so this shows that there's 250 volts or 300 volts going into these valves. And that's a good way of kind of, you know, not killing yourself with mains electricity. Let's switch the... Now this is the visualization unit as a whole. Try and catch something for you. This camera is having a hard time focusing. Another cool thing I want to show you about this is what it does to the ceilings, or the walls or the ceilings. When you're completely sat in the dark, let's switch the valve off and the light off. And all we need for this is the VU, the LED VU scale. Lighting the ceiling and me just messing around with the light. Now this is in bar mode. Let's put the meter onto dot mode. Notice the different colors.